The Quiz On podcast is brought to you by the Flamingo Fund, supporting LGBTQ+ projects, organisations and initiatives. To find out more, head to flamingoscoffeehouse.co.uk/the Flamingo Fund.
Hello and welcome back to the Quiz On podcast with me, Alex Mitchell.
And me, Paulina.
This week we are joined by yet another fantastic guest. It is the brilliant, the podcaster, the comedian, the fantastic Sam Serrano is here. Woohoo!
Hello. Hi everyone, you're right. We pretend we
Yes.
haven't had a 10-minute conversation slagging off people in the industry.
Well, hey, that's getting cut immediately. Whoa. We didn't say anything bad about anybody. We love our jobs. We love the people we work with. This is bad, right? Because the last time I did your podcast not too long ago, and I know you had to cut.
Had to be cut out.
So much had to be cut out because you kept bringing up so we had to cut so much. I'm not having that again.
What a brilliant comic he is.
Okay, let's move on quickly from that. I'm also quite distracted because you've both got dogs. Both you and Hollie, there are dogs wandering around.
Yeah, mine. I don't know what mine's doing. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah,
It's
you'll
goes
see that a
quiet.
lot.
No, this dog. If I go to the toilet in the middle of the night, I'll come back and she won't be there. So I'll get back into bed and she will be under the pillow and she'll bite my ear. That's the dog.
She's sinister. She's like psychotic. Right, anyway, we'll start the podcast proper. Whenever we have a guest and we're doing a remote episode, we ask, where are you and what are you drinking, Sam?
I am in. I say my girlfriend's house. It's mine because she's out now. And I am drinking.
That's how it works. All property is left. Yeah.
And it is 3 p.m. and I am on my second monster of the day because I feel like this is. I think I'm getting to the last few months where I can do things like that, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Can I? Would it be offensive to say you fit the vibe of? I'm having 2 months. I'm having over 2 monsters a day. Like
100%. I used to be much worse. Like 2 isn't that bad for me. I used to do Beat the Frog final of the World Series. I had 12 Red Bulls before going on stage.
Jesus.
I did my 5-minute set in like 2 minutes, and then ran off and nearly didn't make it to the toilet.
Christ.
And weirdly, it's the only time Steve Bennett's given me a good review.
12 Red Bulls deep and Bennett loved it.
I was about to say, did you shit yourself?
I think shitting yourself on stage is the kind of thing Beat the Frog would like, though. That's the kind of thing their feral audience would be like, yeah, he shot himself.
Yeah.
That would be the kind of thing I'd be into.
The Frog would. Oh, they've got some kind of condition. Get them on weekends.
Hey, my name is Alex Mitchell. I do lots of work for the Frog. I do not endorse that message.
I do.
But if you've got a disability, fucking flaunt it. That's what I say. 30% off rail travel. I cannot get enough. Honestly, it's great.
Well, I've got a bit at the minute because my partner's like more disabled than me. Mate, she's in a wheelchair. £45 for 2 Kendrick Lamar tickets. Incredible.
That's
So
amazing.
good.
That's
There is no love in this relationship anymore, but we're going to
But we're going Kendrick. We're going to go see Kendrick.
I love cheap concert tickets, and that's a reason to be with.
I think if you have to pay over £20 for a concert ticket, a gig ticket, I start to like shake. But I think that's because I've lived in the north too long. I think.
I can't remember the last time I paid less than 50.
Seriously, who are you going to see?
I paid 35 to go see Charlie XCX.
Okay.
Linked it in.
We've got the link straight away.
Yeah.
How it goes. The dogs have not stopped barking yet, and I love it. I'm going to have a nightmare editing this.
Is that my
If she's on my knee, she won't bark.
Just to be clear, my dog's asleep right now.
There you go. The excitement is palpable.
Okay, yeah. Be under the bed. That's fine. Just don't bark.
Don't put this.
She's under the bed.
Okay.
She's on the bed. Wonderful stuff. Right.
Sorry about
That's all right. Second
Right.
question of the podcast always comes from Holly, and that question is:
How do you think Rapunzel identifies sexually?
So actually,
which incarnation of Rapunzel are we talking?
I
Whichever
think
one you imagine, I think.
it's
Okay.
like a Stockholm syndrome where she wants to shag her mum.
Okay. Wow. We
So-
have gone deep, and that has not happened.
Incest.
So yeah, incest is what she's into. Okay.
I think
is it
so.
her mum who locks her away, or is it some random witch? Is it her mum?
No, it's her mum, isn't it?
So,
Isn't it-
I didn't know that. We got a McCann situation going on here. That's crazy. I mainly said that just for Holly's reaction. I just knew Holly would stare at me and be so angry that I brought up Maddie McCann this early.
I don't think the thing with Madeline McCann was she was shagging her mum, was it?
No, but our mum
When?
definitely knows where she is.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Because they were swingers. So they were at dinner.
Oh, yeah.
They kept saying they went for tap. Oh, they did go for tapas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it. Genuinely,
Cheeky bastards.
that's it's weird that McCann thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I
maybe
feel
let's not go
sorry
into it
for
on this
that.
light-hearted podcast.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, Sonia.
No, go on. I'd
I
like
do
your
feel-
theory on Madeline McCann, please.
I feel sorry for that because like there was like articles being like, oh, he's not showing any emotion. You're like, yeah, he's Scottish. If he showed emotion, he's done something, you know. No, yeah, I think Rapunzel wants to shag her mum.
Wow. Okay.
I
mean,
don't know
that
if that's
is-
sexuality.
No, I don't think that's. Well, she's a lesbian then, right? Or bisexual?
Yeah,
or
lesbian.
she's
And
lesbian.
that's
She's lesbian.
incest.
I would think she's a lesbian.
Yeah. Long hair.
I also
short
think
nails,
if she's been like locked in a tower on her own, the amount of masturbating she would have done, I don't think she could then go to having sex with men.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it.
Do you know what I mean?
As good. Yeah, I'm fully with you on
You've had,
that.
like 20 odd years, and then you're just like some guy who can't even find the clit, and you're like, fuck off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, fuck
my
off, get
God.
out of
I,
it.
could,
This is-
I was doing this with my hair before.
It's like I don't need. I think the day you realise you don't need a penis is a great day.
Yeah.
The day you get on live with the Apollo is what it is.
I love that we're going hard on diversity quotas. We both 100% benefit from them. Let's not pretend that we don't. I have done gigs where I've actively been told I'm only there because I'm gay and disabled. Like I've had those gigs where people have shaken my hand and gone, "You're only here because you're gay and disabled." Like don't worry about it. Like and every time that happens, I go, "Thank you." Like
Yeah.
yeah, mental. Absolutely mental.
I always watch their set and think, but then why are you here?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
They're
because they
only-
run it.
Yeah.
Because they run it, and they run gigs so they can perform. That's why. There's a little insight into our listener about the industry, the state of this goddamn awful industry. But there we go. We are here today to talk about. You've already brought her up. We are here to talk about Charlie XCX, which I'm very excited
I
about.
thought you meant Madeline McCann.
We are here to talk about Madeline McCann. We are Madeline McCann and Charlie XCX. Dream blunt rotation.
That would be insane if her special guest at Glastonbury was Madeline McCann.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited about this next guest. You've not seen her on stage for over 20 years. Well, one night only, she's back. No, we are recording this just after Glastonbury, and I enjoyed this Glastonbury, but some of the special guests were, like, at best disappointing. Like,
I'm obsessed with Olivia Rodrigo pretending she knows who anyone is. It's so
that's
fun.
good.
One of my favourite people is Robert Smith. I don't know who he is.
But what I love is when she brought out Robert Smith, everyone in the crowd was like, "Who the fuck is Robert Smith?" Then he comes out and everyone goes, "Oh, it's the guy from The Cure." And then everyone's like, "Oh, this is amazing." But when she actually says his name, everyone's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
It's like at Coachella she brought out the guy from Talking Heads.
What the hell?
And you
Why?
just she wants to be an indie musician now. She's in the past 2 months. She's brought out the guy from Talking Heads. She brought out the guy from The Cure, and she's covered a Fontaine's DC song.
Yeah, she also brought out Ed Sheeran though last weekend at Hyde Park. So
Oh, did she?
she relapsed. She relapsed from indie music. Poor Rodrigo.
I think she's going to do like the Miley Cyrus thing, where she starts being like, "I'm not this teenage girl anymore," and she does like magic. I give it a year before Olivia Rodrigo has shaved her head.
Wow.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if that comes off, that's an incredible prediction.
Yeah.
A 2026 prediction
I'm
we're
calling
yet to hear.
I'm calling it. I
2026
think she's going to go
predictions.
mental.
Go mental, right? 2026 predictions. Olivia Rodrigo's going to go mental and shave her head. Madeline McCann's going to make her comeback.
Oh my god.
And
Oh my god.
what other things can happen in 2026?
Oh.
Who's going to go back to it?
I think Kneecap.
Yes.
It's gonna come out that they're just awful people. I think it's gonna come out that they want. I think it's gonna come out that they're just jealous that. I'm not saying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe let's not. My favourite fact about
We
Kneecap-
want to be doing the genocide.
I really feel like that's not their vibe, but there you go.
No, it's not,
My-
100% not, and I absolutely love them.
I think they are great. My favourite thing about them is that the guy who wears a balaclava, he was a primary school teaching assistant when the band started.
That's why he's covered his face.
And that's why he covers his face and wears the balaclava. But it so quickly got back to the school that it was him that they had to like do this official investigation. And they sent him a letter with like all the evidence they had and all the like supposed things he'd done. One of them was like, at one performance, the masked member pulled down his trousers and showed his bare buttocks with the word "Get your Brits out" written across them. And like he was a primary school teacher at the time. I was a primary school teacher assistant, and I was worried about going on stage and like swearing. This guy was like fully getting his arse out.
My highlight of the whole Glastonbury was when they pointed out that Rod Stewart is older than Israel.
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was
I mean,
wild.
I have a question.
So, go.
If Maddie McCann brought out an album upon
Jesus
her
Christ.
return,
Yeah.
what kind of genre do you think it'd be?
Hardcore
Garage
dance.
is where she's been locked up in.
Garage inspired by what she'd been locked up in. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, Sam.
And then she performed at Glastonbury. She'd bring out Craig David, and we'd have like the UK Garage mashup of Maddie McCann and Craig David. Went for tapas on Monday, wasn't seen for 20 years, chilled on Sunday. That's the...
Right.
And Elizabeth Fritzl's calling her a Nepo baby.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she had it, lad. It's all PR.
Do you think that Maddie would have like beef with what was it? Oh, Shannon Matthews on that TikTok? I feel like they would.
Right. Do you know? Right.
Oh my-
Have I told
oh
you?
my
I
God.
don't know if you know this.
Go on.
So,
Brace yourself. Sam's excited.
Right.
He's about to say something absolutely horrendous. Let's go.
oh no, this is great. My partner, I was talking to her the other day, and she went, "Oh, have I told you who my hairdresser was growing up? Like, who worked in the hairdressers?" And I was like, "No, yeah, because like our relationship's not hit that point yet." And she went, "She went, go on." She went, "I'll give you a clue." I went, "Go on." And she went, "It's the hairdresser's next to the pharmacy." So I went, "Is it the pharmacist?" Because that's the only person I think it could be from that clue. And she went, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Well, I've got no fucking clue." Shannon Matthews, allegedly, used to work in a hair and beauty salon in Wigan. So when she was like released on witness protection, they put her in hair and beauty in Wigan. And she like, but what, I just remember thinking like, the clue she fucking gave me
Yeah.
was it was the one next to the farm. Like I can think of a lot more clues.
She was missing for a while, and now she's back doing my nails and cutting my hair.
Yeah, apparently, because Lucy's nan was apparently told about all this, apparently when Lucy was younger, Shannon invited her to a sleepover, and then I was like, we're not falling for that.
Jesus Christ!
This happens like on every single episode. People just say like the most horrific thing.
We've done a full episode on the biggest disasters of our lifetime, which will be released before this one. But that was one of my favourites ever because we just looked at each other and just went, "What's the biggest disaster of your lifetime?" And just really went deep into some of the 9/11 lore.
Oh yes,
yeah. You know, canonically, according to the Muppets films, Kermit the Frog did 9/11. Do you know this? Do you have this theory? So
no, I'm obsessed.
So in A Muppet's Christmas Carol, the ghost of Christmas Present shows him round, and then the ghost of Christmas Future shows him round. And when he sees the ghost of Christmas Future, it's post 2001, but the towers are still there, which means that someone must have done something that hit the only person, and he's told the only person that can impact your future is you, which means the only person who could have possibly done 9/11 is Kermit the Frog. In the Muppets universe, Kermit did 9/11. That's
amazing.
Kermit hit the second tower in Muppets lore. Who do you think hit the first? I'm going animal. I reckon he. It was definitely that. He went rogue. Anyway, we're here to talk about Charlie XCX. How the fuck we're going to? We talked a bit about Glastonbury. We'll sync those two bits together. Right. Charlie XCX has quickly become, I believe, leader of the gays. I think that's what's happened. 100%. We're becoming obsessed with it. I mean, look, I loved her and was obsessed with her before Brat, right? And then Brat brought her into the world, and then it was like everybody knows who she is now, and she became a global icon.
So long overdue. Controversially, I think Brat is one of her worst albums.
Oh.
I'd agree that it's not one of her best. I mean, it's still brilliant, but I'd agree it's not one of her best.
It's amazing. But if you put it next to Crash or the one she did during lockdown, it's like in comparison, it's like Fontaine's DC's latest album is their worst one, but it's the biggest one.
I would agree with you on that as well.
But in comparison, which is why, like, I don't think she will go as. I don't know if she will do the same venues as she's done on the Brat tour.
No, I'm not sure. I mean, she said that as well. Like, she talked I think it was when she won the Grammy. She was very much like, and I'm pretty sure she won an Ivor Novello as well. And like, she came out and she said like, I love this album, but this album's done. I don't think I'll ever make an album like this ever again. And so she was very much like, I'm moving on. And I I respect that massively. And I think particularly like there's a relationship with us as comics to that as well, because it's very difficult for us to suddenly go, I'm going to be a completely different comic now. I'm going to, it's like, because it's her whole brand. It's our whole brand. Suddenly deciding to change what we want to do is very difficult, and only like the biggest stars can possibly do that. I mean, Beyonce tried it and failed dramatically. Like, that was awful. That was terrible,
horrific. Which I think is what Olivia Rodrigo's going for now, is the switch. What do you think would be like? What do you think would be the biggest switch someone could do?
Beyonce going back to country was big. Especially at the time she did it, because she'd been away for so long. So when she put out an album, everyone was expecting a classic Beyonce album, and it just wasn't.
I feel like Slipknot's to like acoustic indie.
Yeah.
Like if Slipknot put out like a Phoebe Bridgers style.
I mean, that'd be amazing. Still in the masks, full on Slipknot acoustic guitar singing like Boy Genius, but it's Slipknot. I would love that. I'd buy tickets for that show. Like, I genuinely would.
I'd go in a heartbeat.
But I think the biggest switch possible would be like if suddenly like Kendrick went and did like full on pop ballads, like Adele level.
Insane.
It would be crazy. It would be great. In his ballads, still calling Drake a paedophile, but just in like a really soft, beautiful way. He's like, I'm not letting this go. The guy's a pedo. Like,
that was one of my highlights of the year was when Drake sued Kendrick. It was like, oh yeah, for saying he's a paedophile. No, for using AI to manipulate the charts, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, he basically just admitted, get your priorities right, Drake.
That, and when someone asked him, like, what do you think about Kendrick calling you a pedo? And he went, well, I don't know why you had to bring Millie Bobby Brown into this.
Oh my God.
No one mentioned it. No one mentioned it until you did.
Yeah, you brought that up, man. You like that is like, you know, when you're like, did you grow up with siblings? Have you got siblings?
I've got a stepbrother.
Okay, so I grew up with my brother and sister, and it's like when like my mum would buy them a treat, but not one of us would be like, right, you can't say anything, and then I'd be like talking to my brother, and the first thing I'd be like, hi, and the first thing my brother would say would be like, I have not had a Kit Kat. Like that is like the sort of level that is with Drake. So what do you think about being called a paedophile? I never saw Millie Bobby Brown. It's like, what? Such just immediately gives everything away. Like,
what do you think about being called a paedophile? I think Madeline McCann's new album is gonna be.
It's gonna be fire. I think it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna lock it down. What would Madeline McCann's album be called? Come on, there's a joke in this somewhere. What would her album be?
You go do a 975 style album and do a brief inquiry into illegal relationships. I mean, they also have an album called "I Like It When You Sleep Because You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It." That could also be linked to Madeline McCann.
That fits quite well, yeah. The 1975, just because we were talking about Glastonbury as well. He's probably right. I know you love them, and I've met Matty Healy, right? I have genuinely met him, and he is like, he was fine in real life. My issue with Matty Healy is, I think he now fully believes he's like punk and anti-establishment, but the way he portrays that on stage is like, it's like, mate, you can't be punk. Your mum's on Loose Women. Like you can't. If your mum's Denise Welch, you're never going to be as wild as Denise Welch. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you look at any punk band, none of them are as punk as what I think they are.
Yeah, or used to be. I get that fully, but I think I would describe, and this is probably going to get me some heat, but I would describe Matty Healy as a Poundland Alex Turner. That's my opinion on Matty Healy.
Wow.
I think a lot of things have been said on this podcast.
Yeah.
If you say that's the worst,
we've crossed the line there.
We've crossed a line. Okay, we'll talk back to Denise Welch, the legend.
What I will say is, the 1975 are not just coasting off two good albums like the Arctic Monkeys.
That I will give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that. As a band, great. It's just Matty Healy individually, I've got an issue with him. I've got an issue with his face.
I'd much. Who would you rather have a pint with, Alex Turner or Matty Healy?
Oh, neither. God, they're both hideous.
You have to pick one. Matty Healy, because he'll do accents.
Oh God. Okay.
As a comedian, you should pick Matty Healy because he is funny.
I'd give you that. What I did like at Glastonbury when he came out and he was talking about how much he loves the songwriting process, and they said, if I've learned anything from writing this number of albums, it is that I am the best. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I was like, fair play, that's funny. Like,
what they didn't show on that is he then did Chocolate, which famously he's been on saying he hates the lyrics because they had the lyrics on the screens everywhere, and the lyrics were just like utter nonsense.
It was just the noises he makes. Yeah, it's like, it's like wasn't words. It was just noises. Yeah.
I genuinely think he's really fun. Like, some of the stuff he says, you go, oh, maybe keep that in private, Matty. But tweeting that he's going to make a Boy Genius cover band called Girl is very funny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's very funny.
It's one of these ideas that I think people have, and in your head and with your family, and I can say it because I'm disabled, you can sort of think, that's funny. But I wouldn't go, let's go say it on stage. Like, I wouldn't believe...
Especially, he said it on Twitter in the week everyone was calling him a racist.
Yeah, that's bold, man. That is... But I mean, like, that's like if you're going down in flames. Like,
and he's not. Every
Yeah,
time
he's still coasting
I
through,
go,
isn't he?
oh, it's going to be easier to get tickets to see them on the next tour. No, it's getting harder.
I think he is uncancelable, and I
Because
think
the
it
music's
comes back.
so good.
No, I think it comes back to the fact his mum's Denise Welch. I think she is such. Yeah, I think she's too powerful for the industry. I think
So,
I think no one
I-
could take on Denise Welch and win.
Well, because I've seen them on the last tour. I saw them 4 times. I've seen them like 20 odd times. My reason for getting a ticket has never been that Denise Welch has rang me up and asked me to.
Yeah,
No. But if she did, but what I'm saying is, if she did, you fucking would. You'd be
Oh,
like, "How'd you
100%.
get my number? I'm terrified," and you would buy a ticket.
and it's
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
subconscious. It's subconscious as
So
well. I think it's there.
I've got like a.
There's a
100,
Denise Welch within us all, I think, is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
We all carry a Denise Welch with us, and
Because-
she gives us the best advice.
His dad's on Benidorm as well, isn't he? His dad's Tim Healy on Benidorm.
Yeah. It's mad. Also, his uncle wrote and animated the film Flushed Away,
Yeah, and
which
it's
is why
his
the lead character.
godfather looks like Matty.
Yeah. Oh, was it his godfather? Yeah. But the
Yeah.
lead character, the rat, looks like Matty Healy.
Oh my god.
Like, so clearly. It's so funny.
Yeah. Because everyone online was going like, oh, it looks like the rat from Flushed Away. And he just went and was like, yeah, this is why. He's like, it's based off me.
Yeah. I mean, I can forgive him for that, because Flushed Away is, I would say, one of the greatest children's films of all time.
So good.
It's
Ooh.
right up
We're
there.
about to get controversial, Holly. What are you saying?
I don't know. Like, let's
She's going to say some batshit no one's heard of.
Sam, are you my age or are you younger than me?
I'm 25.
Oh, you two. It's because you two are really young.
Young People Corner.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
Do you
off.
remember the film Hoodwinked, Sam? Sam, have you ever seen the film
Great
Hoodwinked?
film!
Yeah!
Oh,
Great film!
It's
Hoodwinked
not.
is brilliant.
So we
Do you
recently
remember
had...
Enchanted?
Yeah, oh God. Oh, Enchanted, yeah.
Has anyone ever told you? You look the spit of the kids from, or if it went like, if you had a breakdown.
Oh, cheers. Thanks. I do. I do, because my brother looks exactly like him. Like,
Does he?
I've always, yeah, my brother doesn't have a beard or anything, so he looks exactly like the kid from that.
I always get told I look like Arthur Christmas.
I kind of get that, but I think that's
I
quite a
see
niche reference. Yeah.
I think Arthur Christmas is one of the best Christmas films.
Yeah, I think you look like Arthur Christmas if he really got into vaping. Like, that's what I think. I will say at this point, me and Sam have met maximum 5 times.
We've never met.
I've done your podcast. We must have done a Pride special somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually met. I'm trying to think.
Amazing.
Okay, well, there it is.
Nope.
I've done Sam podcast, had one conversation with him, and now I'm saying he looks like Arthur Christmas if he really got into vaping. Like...
Now, Holly's opened for me. He opened for me in Leeds, and we did. Oh, I've just remembered the gig we did together. It was
What was
dreadful.
It was Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Some people won't. Like, it's one thing you learn is like not everyone has to book you.
No.
If you have 4
Yeah.
or 5 promoters who love you, then you're fine.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Or if you're just, I often find, like, you just have to be pleasant. Like, you don't have to be the funniest person. If you're just easy enough to get on with, Yeah.
100%.
that makes that. If you're not, like, don't be demanding. Don't be a prick to anybody. Just be
But
nice.
Even
But
if
then
you
also,
are,
everyone has a lovely time then anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. Even if you are a prick, you can get away with it sometimes.
Yeah,
Like-
it depends on the gig. I mean, I do it quite. The only times I do it is when, like, things I need aren't there. Like, I need a stool on stage now, and I
Yeah.
have one in my car, right? But if I say if I I always email ahead, and if they go, oh yeah, we can provide that, I turn up without my stool, and they're like, oh, we don't have one. I then fully will, like, throw the disability card in a way that's like, well,
You
because I'll be
should.
like, I literally cannot, like, I'm gonna have to sit on the stage. Like, I literally would not be able to perform, because there are some days
Yeah.
that it literally is impossible for me to perform without it. So it's like, when I say I go for them, I don't, like, fully, like, bring up the disabled card. What I do is I just become a bit of an arse. I just
Yeah.
become a bit of a, like, okay, right, you've not got that for me, so can I get this? Can I get this? And I'm like always going like, right, where can I get a drink from? Where can I get this from? Where can I do this and that? And I just start to annoy them, and that's how I tend
Yeah.
to get away with it. Is instead of like outrightly having a go at them, just niggle away at them every so often, and then they'll realise what they've done.
I've gigged with, and I'm not going to name them, but another act who also did Britain's Got Talent, who is known for just being hard to work with.
I know who you're talking about.
And I was always like, it can't be as bad.
He is awful. Have you met
He's
him?
really bad.
He's terrible. Yeah. Because I think that person on stage plays a bit of a character where they're a bit of a sort of a nasty, bitchy character, but in a fun camp way. But then off stage, they're just the same. Like you see it a lot with like I think a lot of gay comics, you see it with them where it's like on stage they play this kind of a camped up, bitchy character, which we see a lot because it's often when you do a rough gig, it's what like the audiences want. It's sort of like our default setting is. I talk about it all the time. I dial up the camp. Like if I'm doing a rough gig, I'll be like, right, this is what these people want. I'll just play every sort of stereotype, every kind of caricature of a gay person, and just give that to them and see what they think. But then you often see it where then that can become your persona on stage, can sometimes become your persona. It can become your persona off stage, and that is that's always quite worrying when that happens to certain individuals. Yeah. But sometimes you do have to change that persona. It sort of links back to what we were saying earlier with like sort of musicians who change style with albums and stuff. Like I think I'm going through a similar process at the minute where like I was very fortunate to get a platform from Britain's Got Talent, right? And I talk about Britain's Got Talent a lot more in the show I'm doing now, which I've just taken to Edinburgh. I talk about it a lot in there because the people assume I did it because it was like I always wanted to do that show, and that show was always so I did it because I was going to be made redundant, right? That's why I did the show. And so again, but what that meant was the comedy I did on Britain's Got Talent was very different to what I'd done before. I mean, me and Hollie started at very similar times to the open mic circuit. I think everyone was very shocked when they saw my face come up on that TV show, and they're going, "What the hell is he going to do?" Because he can't go on and talk about hand jobs, which was, as an open mic comic, that was a lot of my set. So like it's like, so I had to change that character, but now it's like I want to change it again. I don't necessarily always want to be that family friendly, happy go lucky, smiley primetime TV comic. What I'd like to be is I'd like to have something to say. I think the best comics have something to say. And we talked a bit about, Glastonbury, and earlier we did mention Kneecap and stuff. And it's like, for me, having something to say is just as important as how good you are as a performer. Because if you have one without the other, no one's going to listen to you. Right? If you've got the art, but it's just meaningless, who gives a shit? If you've got a message, but no way of projecting that, no one's going to listen to it. So I think that's what you want to be.
I think the best art is divisive, and it does split opinion. People are so like, I am like a big 1975 fan. People hate them. So making a statement, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier. I said my issue with 1975 is purely I think Matty Healy's a prick. I just think personally he's a knobhead. But again, I think there's a thing about like having something to say, and I think as well, like in the generation we're in now, in a particularly difficult, strange, probably very unique geopolitical sort of standpoint, that moment in time we're in now, it's very polarized, where it's sort of like you're either good or bad. Is how there's no, you're either on one side or the other side, and there's no middle. It's actually like there's a lot of these issues that artists are trying to talk about on stage. There's a massive political spectrum, right? There's a huge like you can't. There's not just one side or the other. There's things. Even if you just take it from like, okay, what do you think of this current government? Well, there's things I've got huge issues with, but there's other things I'm like, actually, I think they're doing all right there. So it's like, but particularly because we live in an online world, or things like TikTok, which is 10-second videos, the most popular, or X or Instagram, where 2 sentences is much more popular than reading a full paragraph. In those 2 sentences, you just have to say whether you like something or not, and you can't be in the middle.
I think if Keir Starmer wasn't under Labour, I don't think he would have got in. I think if people actually, I think a lot of it is people going, "Oh, I vote Labour because that is the left-wing party," and they vote for him, and they've not actually looked. In the first week of him being like the leader of Labour, he wrote an article in the Sun, and like Liverpool is, one of the biggest Labour voting cities, and if there's one thing we do not like, it's the Sun.
Yeah,
it's just fascinating. Fascinating to me how he's. I used to do a bit. I don't really do it now because I just kept getting pissed off on stage about him. But it's like because he's anti-trans.
Yeah,
and he said that trans women are just men pretending to be women to get into toilets, and you're like, well, you're a Tory pretending to be Labour to get into power.
Yeah.
So how are you any better?
Yeah, he is. He's a Tory in a red tie. That's the.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And like that's. But the issue here was come from the fact that, like, again, obviously it's going to divide opinion. But the last general election, you had one of two options, right? And that's what it's been like for the last 50 years, where it's been Tory or Labour. That's your option. Apart from that one time, the Lib Dems did really well, got into a coalition, and then went back on all their promises. So then they fuck themselves the rest of time, right? Lib Dems will never do that well ever again. So it's like now we're at a point where it's like, is there more? I think because the Tories have imploded so much in the last 10 years, and people have realised just what an awful job they've done, it's now become very much like, oh, we need another option, right? So Labour, and that's when you then see the rise of insanity like reform, right? And that's usually the rise of things like that, because they're just the next alternative. Because like again, the alternative from the Tories was Labour. Right, the alternative for Labour is no longer the Tories because they've imploded so badly, and Kemi Badenoch has, I believe, a similar IQ to that of a banana, right? So like so now it's like, what's your alternative? The only alternative for a lot of people, or a lot of people are seeing, is reform, and the only reason they're seeing reform is because they get the airtime because they say the crazy shit. They say the crazy shit, and then if you were to actually drill into their policies, they don't have any. Like they don't have. Do you see? They didn't put out a manifesto at the last general election. They called it a contract, and it was like 3 pages of A4.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a. They have nothing. But again, this is how these nut jobs get into power, because you find the next. We're going to Trump. Trump was the next best alternative after people fell out of love with Obama because of the financial situation in America, right? Then suddenly it again becomes Trump. Trump was crazy. Somehow Biden managed to get in just. And again, that's when I think the Democrats actually played a really good card by putting Kamala Harris forward, because if you want someone the complete opposite of Donald Trump, not in terms of his policies, not in terms of their policies, because actually the Democrats aren't that good either, but it's like she is just on paper, well, she's a black woman, he's a racist white man. Like it's the difference. So that's what they were trying to do, and I think they played their card really well. It just didn't work out. So that's what the issue with this is at the minute.
I also think and honestly, I am left wing, but I'm not super left wing. Like I was talking to Alan Cochrane about this recently, and he would consider himself quite centrist. But because the arts and comedy is such a left-wing industry, he looks like the most right-wing person on earth. But if you actually talk to him, he's fine.
Yeah. But there's plenty of comedians who play that card as well, who dial it up. Like, that's what people want in a political landscape, but also in the arts, is they want something, they want a major alternative. That's where, that's why Kneecap and Bob Vylan are suddenly so popular. I mean, I've been a Bob Vylan fan for a while. I grew up on. I know I don't look like it, but I grew up on punk music, and I've seen Bob Vylan live a couple of times. I absolutely love them. But this is where they become huge, is because they are a crazy alternative. They are so far on the other end of the spectrum to everything else we're seeing that it's like suddenly they become popular. I think in the arts, the left left wingers do that in the arts, probably because the arts are more accessible to left wing middle class people. right?
Yeah.
But in terms of politics and what we see on like mainstream politics, that's where
Mhm.
the right wing, they're the ones who are the extreme alternative. Like
Yeah.
things like when we tried to have it with Corbyn, didn't we? When Corbyn came in and he was going to be the far left option, and young people loved him, but he just
Yeah.
got hounded. And well, not him, Diane Abbott as well, just got
Yeah.
completely hounded. And the pressure was all on them. And all we're being told is, "Oh, Jeremy Corbyn's not a good leader." And you'd ask him about, you'd ask the Tories about his policies, and they'd go, "Yeah, but the key thing is he's not a good leader." It's like, well, what's that mean? And it's because
Yeah.
they had nothing to fight him on, because he was so far away from anything that the Tories could possibly imagine that they
Yeah.
had nothing to fight him on. So they just slandered him, and they got away with it.
If you could have anyone in power, who would it be? Because I'm always the thing of
Denise Welsh. No questions asked. Next question, please, Your Honour.
I reckon after a couple of wines, she gets a bit.
Oh, she gets a bit trigger happy. She's hovering over the big red button after a couple of rosés. Is Denise?
I mean, if any of her son's early work is to go by, what? No, that's it. Like, because Matty said, he said once that he thinks anyone going, "I should be in power," should automatically mean they're not allowed because they are mentally ill.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's true. You're hungry for that power. That's not. You're not a good person, are you?
Actually, not.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like we all know there's people who have very strong opinions about things, and you just go, you can't be that. You can't have an opinion on everything and be educated. You can't be educated about everything.
Yeah. There's got to be some things you step
can't
away from and go, I don't know enough about it. Like, there has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until there's the point where it gets, you look like you're just virtue signaling.
Yeah. But that's the
Like-
kind of thing. Or you roll out these stock market phrases, these just like things we've all heard before, or stuff. Or you just say something mental. My favourite thing from the last set of local elections was it was a Reform candidate who I think has become the mayor of Hull. I'm not 100% sure on that. The mayor of Hull is Reform, but I'm not sure if it's this guy. But he, in an interview, like leading up to the vote, he was asked a question about a specific policy, completely ignored the question about the policy, and instead looked straight down the barrel of the camera and said the following phrase, which I think is amazing. He said, "Not since the film Finding Nemo has a fish been more out of water than Keir Starmer." Now,
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure that man's seen that film. That's because only at one point in that film does the fish leave the water and it jumps directly into the mouth of a pelican. Right? That is like absolutely mental.
He knew that the headline would be that, rather
Would be
than
that, and they wouldn't focus on anything he said about policy.
Of course not.
And that's how these people win.
It was like but I'm also guilty of it. I didn't listen to UCAP until they went on about the Palestine thing. And I'll be honest, I've listened to them. It's not my kind of music, but I'll keep listening to them because I agree with what they're saying.
Yeah.
And if I actually
think
think
people like
about
that.
I probably much prefer Morrissey's music.
Yeah.
But I can't bring myself to listen to him.
You can't
you know what I
agree
mean?
with what he's saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. And I
And
do
you're also-
get that.
The thing with those people who always have an opinion on everything, and they're usually the left wing, you're never left wing enough for someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the more you go, this is right, this is right, this is right, you slip up once, and it's, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're talking about those like major, like those things where you become at the spectrum, you're on either end of the spectrum and you're so far away from each other. And again, that's what political parties use to become that point of difference. At the minute, one of the big things they are using is about gender, right? Is about the transgender rights and things. So there are parties who are very much like, we completely agree with the court ruling and transgender women are dangerous and da 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 da. And on the other side, you've got people going, they're just people. Like, leave them alone, right? But again, that now has become the political pawn, right? That's become the political. That's their point of difference that they're going to use. 4 years ago, longer than 4 years, probably for the last 10, 15 years, it's been immigration. I think that's starting to shift a bit now because that's Reform's only policy. So for Labour to beat them, they just have to not talk about it. Because if you talk about something else, if you talk about something else for long enough, Reform will go, oh, we can't talk about immigration now. What are we going to talk about? And inevitably, they'll say something fucking mental, like banning burqas or burning children who throw rocks in houses. Right? Like, that's the kind of things that is mental. So, but that has become, I think, very dangerous in terms of the lives and rights of queer people, is that we are now very much being used in a political game. And it is worrying.
It's not a political thing. You're playing with people's lives.
What I would say, if you were looking for a positive spin on that, this weekend was Budapest Pride. And Hungary have an incredibly far-right government who are essentially trying to make homosexuality illegal again in Hungary. And you look at that, they were basically they did a public announcement essentially a couple of days before Pride was due to happen, saying if you attend this, you could be arrested, you will be arrested. And you still look at the thousands and thousands of people who turned up. I'm sure, and again, surely not all those people are gay, right, or queer or LGBT, because a lot of them will be just allies, and that is such a powerful thing that it's like, actually, despite all this adversity, we're still here. You know what I mean? And actually, you can track that through so many points in history, from Stonewall to the AIDS crisis to what's going on now in Hungary. Like, you can track it so, like, almost perfectly in terms of it's so secular. Because, like, what will happen is for a period of time, everyone will be like, oh, yeah, queer people are fine. That's great. We all love Drag Race. And then there'll come a period of time that go, oh, actually, they're dangerous and scary, and trans women are going into bathrooms, and that's awful, and and then it'll come back again, and everyone go, actually, you know what, I don't mind. Two men dancing with each other on Strictly, it's better than I thought it was going to be. And then it'll come back round, and people be like, they're fucking evil again. Like, it's just how it goes. And you can almost plot that perfectly throughout history, the ups and downs of it, in terms of the time it happens.
The politics of it, so, like, after like during World War II, it was all pinned on the Jews, so that they didn't see what they were doing. And there's so many throughout history. There's so many times where they go, right, we need someone to pin the blame on and to villainize in society and in the media. And at the minute, it is trans people.
It's trans people's turn. That's what's happened, right? Because we had it with gay people, we had it with queer people, we're now having it with trans people. We've had it with migrants, legal and illegal migrants. We've had it with them both before, which is just ridiculous that these poor people are being picked apart. These are people who are desperate, who've fled their home because they've got nowhere to fucking live, and yet we've made them into villains for a political game. But you get, 60s, 70s, women were the problem. Like 80s, working class people were the problem. Like, it just, you can see it throughout history. It just happens to be trans people's turn, and it does beg the question, who's next? Because eventually they're going to run out. Like, who are they going to eventually go for? There was a very good comic I love dearly, and I won't name him because he wouldn't appreciate it, I don't think. But he used to do a joke about it where he said, who's next? Is it just going to be people with Down syndrome? Is that what they're eventually going to move on to? Is this it now? Is this, we're just getting so niche that we're just going to have to pick on the most, like, because we're just going to run out of people otherwise. Like, and it's such a good point of just pinpointing how fucking stupid it is. It's just,
I tell you what, I am just holding out the day for the straight white men. Really looking forward to that one.
Oh,
they'll never become. I mean, imagine if that would be amazing.
That would be beautiful.
If there comes a point in time where I, as a queer person, can say, look, I don't mind heterosexual people, but I'd rather they did it in the comfort of their own home. Why do they have to ram it down our throats? That, I'd love that.
Listen,
that would be one of the highlights of my life.
I am saying that already. I say that on a regular basis.
I'd love to say it and mean it, though.
I mean it.
In saying that, I will precurse that by saying, when I do say that, I obviously don't mean it. Because the goal here
Every time I say that, I mean it.
The goal here is that, again, I've talked
Me
quite
and you,
passionately
Hollie,
about it.
obviously care more than Alex.
Well, I've talked quite passionately about it, but like, I'm not at the point where I'm like, kill Nigel Farage. Like,
I am.
Wow.
I think, yeah, I don't like the fucker. I don't trust him. I don't want him in power. I don't think he should be allowed anywhere near government. I would love him to just live on his own little island with no one else, so he didn't bother anyone. But like, I'm not.
I think
at a
he'd
point,
also love that.
probably, yeah. But the ultimate goal is that there's just a point, and it's obviously not an achievable goal, but it's just a point where you can have varying opinions and that be okay. Whereas at the minute, that's not allowed, and that's a problem on both the far left, the far right, centrist, slightly left, slightly right, left and right leaning. Like, that's an issue with all of them. Is that at the minute, it seems like you can't have an opinion without being immediately shot the fuck down. And if you've got an opinion based, what I'm talking about is an opinion based on fact, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about these crazy people who say, like, yeah, immigration just, take the Titanic. If you put too many people on it, it sinks. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened with the Titanic.
Yeah.
I think there was an iceberg involved. I think that was probably, and if anything, it was probably the leadership that was steering it directly towards the iceberg that caused the major issue. But you know what I mean? So if you're saying something like that, it's like, okay, quite rightly, you should be told you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like 100% you should be. But if you have an opinion where you're like, actually, I am worried about this, I have a concern, you shouldn't be immediately fucking shot down, whatever that concern is about.
And I think when they are just shot down, it makes them worse.
Yeah. We should be
think-
we need to be in a political state where you can have a discussion.
It should delivery as well, though. I think a huge issue with it is the way that people are delivering their opinions. It is fine to have an opinion. No one's saying that you're wrong in that, but you also have to put yourself in a position where, do you know what, you actually might be wrong. And if you are open to that discussion, to then be like, actually, I was worried about something that I don't need to be worried about, and I am now hearing that from someone else's point of view. Like, I would love to have a conversation with someone who's homophobic, like genuinely homophobic, that is scared of. Because I haven't actually come across someone who is properly homophobic. Like, I have never been the victim of any homophobia properly, and I would love to sit down in a room and genuinely hear what it is, like what the root is. Why are you scared of me, or what is your particular issue? But the issue with the people in that sense is that their argument doesn't have any weight behind it. It's it's just a feeling that I have. I just feel that it's wrong, and it's like, okay, but back it up. Like, tell me, where is this fear coming from?
Why do you feel? Where's it coming from? Yeah.
Why? You're
Sarah
scared
Lodge,
that
I do think with most of it, it's fear of the unknown, and they don't actually know queer people.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's when it comes down to it.
And that's the same with like immigration, and like again, that comes from a fear of, these are other people with different cultures, different way of life, which actually probably isn't that different to ours anyway. But like suddenly it's because it's different, and we're letting them all in, and again, then you're just fed the lies and fed the conspiracy theories about how many we're letting in and how many we're putting in hotels and how much that's costing, and it's like that then just adds fuel to the fire that was already unnecessary. I think the dream is that you get to that point when a discussion can be had where actually you can be different and share those opinions and not immediately be shut down, because it's okay to have an opinion or belief. It's not okay to be homophobic. It's not okay to be a racist, right? Like, it's I've said it before, I do think everybody is homophobic sometimes. Some people are homophobes, right? And like it's just that's the way I view it. So the dream is that at some point you're able to just sit and actually have an open and frank conversation and not be shut down for what you believe in. Yeah, maybe we should get Nigel Farage on this podcast. I think he'd love it.
Yes.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
I think he would actually do it though.
100% he would. He's done crazier shit. That time when he was doing Cameo for about 6 months and like saying shit like up the IRA and shit. Like,
that was incredible.
That
made me
wild.
find him.
Yeah, because I mean, I respected the fact he was just like, I'm just taking the money now. I'll say whatever
Yeah.
you want me to say. I'm just taking your fucking money. But some of the shit he said was wild. And I have heard stories about like people were paying for cameos from him, giving him a script, and then he was still throwing in random things. So like they'd be halfway through the script, and then in the middle he'd just throw in, "Thanks for supporting the Brexit cause," and then just to continue with the absolute insanity of the rest of the script he'd been given. Like, because it was at a period of time when the game Among Us was huge, and so he was just like quoting weird shit from that game, and like it's just absolutely mental. He must have had no idea. It honestly looked like he was having a stroke watching that. Like,
my favorite thing is when politicians are like told to say something, and they just get it so wrong. Have you seen the clip of Joe Biden where he's talking about the All Blacks?
no,
No.
no. What's
So
this? This is gonna be awful.
He's just been to Ireland, and someone gave him a All Blacks like rugby top,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I just been to Ireland. Someone gave me this T-shirt for the Black and Tans."
Oh God, no! Oh dear! Oh Jesus!
You go, someone needs to
Have a word with our Joe. My
It's the
favourite
same
one is
with
only recently Trump was giving a speech from an auto cue, and the word was Yosemite, as in the national park, and he genuinely went Yosemite, which is just so funny. And I really hope he opens all meetings with Benjamin Netanyahu like that. Like, I think just absolutely mental thing to like. What was he possibly thinking when he read that?
my favorite, like obviously the Keir Starmer one saying that they're keeping hold of the sausages was incredible.
That was good, yeah. That was
good.
good.
My favorite, and I think I watched this video. I reckon a good 2 or 3 times a week, where it's David Cameron getting interviewed on the news, and it's like outside this guy's house, and the interviewer is just off screen, and there's a tree.
He's looking at the tree.
It looks like he's talking to the tree. I think he goes, no idea why he was talking to a tree just then.
My favourite newsroom one is the guy trying to talk to a scientist called Danny something, and he goes, "Good evening, Daddy," to the guest. That's the best one. That or the ITV News start where it's "Good evening, paedophiles." That one's great.
Phenomenal.
So good. Oh, Sam, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and quite chaotic and so much fun.
I've completely forgotten what my topic was.
We were supposed to be talking about Charlie XCX. We'll come up with another name, because the name of all the episodes, I was excited about this one because we put the name of the episode and then with whoever it is. So this was going to be Charlie XCX with Sam Serrano. So people would be like, "Oh my God, they've got Charlie XCX on." And then I was going to
do Madeline McCann and Denise Welch with Sam Serrano.
Sam Serrano. Yes, that's the name of the episode, people. Maddie McCann, Denise Welch, Matty Healy, and Sam Serrano. Dream blunt rotation. Dream dinner party guests. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything to promote, or is it just your socials?
I have got an Edinburgh show. It's midday, Counting House. Yeah, just go follow me on Instagram. That's where everything will be.
Sweet. Follow Sam on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Follow the podcast. Rate us. Review us, please. That'd be great. Share us with your friends. That's what we'd like to know. That's what we'd like to happen. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Queers On Podcast. We'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
This episode of the Queers On Podcast was produced in association with Unmasked Neurodiversity Network, an incredible charity in Leeds aiming to provide unwavering support and guidance to individuals within the community. To donate or find out more, visit unmaskednn.co.uk.